Welcome today to my YouTube channel, Explain 11 VR flight in the Zibo modified 737-800 as usual. Today we are doing a flight from Cologne Airport, Echo Delta Delta Kilo, to the Berlin Schönefeld Airport, Echo Delta Delta Bravo, which is a very famous airport for because it is built since 7 years now, I think, and still not ready. So anyway, we are in the Ryanair today, and so Echo Delta Delta Bravo, Berlin Schönefeld is Ryanair base airport. So okay, anyway, just not too much words actually. I've got a new things in the simulator that I want to present and show you today. First of all, Zibo mod is now updated to the version 3.33h. There's also a 3.34 beta. However, I have decided to stay on the stable 3.33 version. Up to now, Explain 11 is 11.32 R2. Yeah, what is new actually? New is that I was dealing a little bit with weather plugins and weather engines, so that that is new. I ended up in the ActiveSky weather engine for introducing the weather into the X-plane, and Ultra Weather XP for the cloud textures, and that combination gives us a very nice improvement in terms of weather and sky visibility actually. So have a look on these beautiful textures, these beautiful weather simulations. So that gives the simulation very much improvement in terms of realistic weather. Okay, that is one of the things. The other thing is that there is a new plugin, OVR Script at the Org store called OVR Settings for Oculus. That one is actually very recommendable, because it is introducing a new asynchronous space warp functionality, which fixes the frame rate to 30 frames per second, giving us an asynchronous space warp feature with 30 frames per second stability, and that makes the simulator even very more smooth and flyable, especially in VR, because it is very FPS demanding. So as you can see now, it's fixing at 30 frames per second, together with my LOD plugin, which is the 3J FPS, fixed to 30 frames per second. That made actually a big improvement to the simulator in terms of smoothness and stability. So that was also the point I decided to introduce the weather, because then it did not have that impact anymore on the frame rate, having clouds and real weather actually. Alright, yeah, we are nearly done. You are hearing it from the background. All the passenger loading flight leg is already in termination. The flight plan has been entered, also filed with the ATC here in Cologne. Means we are nearly ready to go. We have already got our IFR clearance from the ATC, so we will now stop terminating passengers, stop loading the passengers. Sorry for that. Yeah, and also welcome our passengers. No, that one.
Hello again from the flight deck, your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruise altitude and the seatbelt
sorry,
sign
that
is now
was the
off.
wrong
Feel free
pattern.
to move around the cabin, but we do ask if you
So
are
we
in your
have
seat,
the
that you
parallel
keep
now.
your seatbelt lifted
Anyway.
fastened in case we do experience any unexpected turbulence. Otherwise, invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy the flight. You're very welcome on board.
Okay, very welcome on board. Okay, yeah, sorry for that. That did put the incorrect things. Alright, have we doing the pre-planning of the pushback now, actually. So we have the active runway is runway 24, so we have to go to the right. Okay. Oops, that way actually, so we are sitting in gate C3 and we are going in this direction actually, so right, okay.
Bodenanbrücke, der Plan ist eingereicht. Bitte rufen Sie mich über das Menü, wenn Sie bereit sind.
So, we got our position is not good. Now it is better actually for me. Sitting here, okay. So we got we have to go for the pushback and engine start approval from the ATC. Ryanair 106 ready for pushback and engine start.
Ryanair 106 pushback and engine start approved.
Pushback and engine start approved Ryanair 106.
Okay. Means we have to start the APU now. Putting the strobe lights on, the logo on, fuel pump on. Okay, meanwhile we can call the pushback card.
Bodenanbrücke, der Schlepper bringt sich in Position.
It's coming right over there. And as usual, always driving into the scenery. Okay. There is someone standing over there. Okay. Don't care about that. Okay, the APU was online, so we are switching back. Disconnect the ground power, GPU, and can put the APU lead on.
Alle Türen und Luken sind verschlossen. Wir sind bereit, den Schlepper zu verbinden.
Okay, the anti-collision lights on. So that's usually the sign for the ground personnel that we are now ready for our pushback and engine start. Usually they also will retract the passenger bridge. This airport, this Cologne Airport, is I think still using the AutoGate plugin, which is not reacting on the light switches, on the strobes and anti-collision light. It's just reacting on the
Schlepper ist verbunden, der Bypass-Pin ist gesetzt. Bitte lösen Sie die Parkbremse.
As I release the parking brake, you will notice that, yeah, now the passenger bridge
Wir
is
beginnen mit dem Pushback.
moving
Die
away.
Triebwerke sind frei zum Anlassen.
Okay, so then let's start the engines. Oops. Engine number 2. Oops. That is somehow a little bit weird here. Don't need this vertical speed actually. We are going for LNAV and VNAV. Flight directors are on, so our V2 speed is 142. We have about 100 passengers aboard, 2 tons of cargo, which gives us a takeoff weight of around about 60 tons with 6 tons of fuel. Okay. They are moving around us. Very good. Oh, okay. Okay, engine number 1. So, I already loaded the airport map. So we have the active runway is 24. That means we have to go all the way down here and then there.
Der Push-Vorgang ist abgeschlossen. Bitte setzen Sie die Parkbremse. Schlepper wird getrennt. Einen kleinen Moment bitte.
Okay, engines are running. Switching to continuous ignition mode. Bringing the buses online from the generators of the engines. And hold on both packs. And switching off the APU. Okay. Okay, still load chart for our departure. That is the ODIP departure today, ODIP 5D. So that is our departure route actually. So it means we have to put in this VOR here as our reference point for the departure, which is 109.6 as our first nav reference point. Okay, here we are, UNH 1002, so we have to disconnect pushback card. And request our taxi. Ryanair 106, ready to taxi.
Der Schlepper wurde entfernt, der Bypass-Pin ist gezogen. Freizeichen gibt von der rechten Seite. Einen angenehmen Flug. Tschüss.
Alpha 3, Delta. Hold short runway 14 left.
Taxi to runway 24 via taxiways Alpha, Alpha 4, Echo, Alpha 3, Delta. Hold short runway 14 left Ryanair 106.
Okay, so the taxi instructions, we are going taxiway Alpha. They told us Alpha 4 and then Echo. Okay, we're just going down to Alpha 3 and then crossing this runway and going short on that way here. So that is our taxi route for today. Yeah, I think we are all set. And all the throttle enable, that means we are ready to go. Our rudder check. Okay, good, everything seems to be very good now. Flaps to 5 for the takeoff, and we are ready to go to our taxi. Look at these beautiful cloud textures here, and also the weather is very nicely simulated. Ultraviolet XP and ActiveSky XP are doing a very good job. So So we have to do a left turn now on the taxiway Alpha 3 as advised by the ATC. There's also absolutely stable 30 frames per second. So yeah, that's very smooth now, this simulator.
Ryanair 106 clear to cross runway 32 right.
Thank you.
Cleared to cross runway 32 right Ryanair 106.
We have some strong winds today here in Cologne, yeah, as in all the parts of Germany currently, especially in the southern part of Germany. Very strong winds, storms, and not that much in the
Ryanair
north of
106
Germany.
contact tower on 124.907.
Yeah.
Enjoy your afternoon.
Thank you.
Tower on 124.907 Ryanair 106.
So we will make our stop right over here. And asking for the IFR release. Ryanair 106 ready for IFR release, runway 24.
Ryanair 106, you are released for departure. Runway 24 after takeoff maintain heading 243 until above 1,800, then turn to intercept course. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet. Release for departure void at 14:48 Zulu. Advise with alternate intentions no later than 14:53 Zulu. Time now is 14:41 Zulu.
Ryanair 106 released for departure runway 24 after takeoff maintain heading 243 until above 1,800, then turn to course. Climb and maintain 4,000 feet. Release for departure void at 14:48 Zulu.
Alright, that was our takeoff release. So we are going to enter the runway and directly taking off. So that is a short runway. That means we have to wind is
80 knots.
quite strong, so I have to heavy rudder corrections here. Full rudder.
V1, rotate.
Oh.
Positive rate.
Gear up. Flaps 1 degree.
Flaps up to 1 degrees.
1000.
Flaps 0 degrees.
Flaps up to 0 degrees.
So we are handing over to the autopilot. That's
Ryanair 106
quite windy, you
climb
see it
and
here.
maintain
We
flight
have
level 110.
40
Climb and
knots
maintain flight
tailwind.
level 110 Ryanair 106.
Going to flight level 110. These are heavy winds. Wow. But look at this very, very nice and beautiful cloud textures and whatever. Okay, the wind is heavy, so we are following the instrument departure route. So 108.8 was the wrong. That's our fix. The Cologne VOR.
To go.
Ryanair 106 climb and maintain flight level 170.
Climb and maintain flight level 170 Ryanair 106.
Ryanair 106 slow to 250 knots or less.
Wilco Ryanair 106.
Yeah, meanwhile we have the wind from behind, 60 knots from 265 degrees. So giving us a little more boost.
Ladies and gentlemen, please continue to observe the traffic signal sign until the captain has switched it off. We do recommend
Okay, so we can also set the first officer's FMZ.
There is a call bell reading light and
Next
fresh air
page
vent
and-
panel just above your head, and we'd like to remind you that this is a strictly non-smoking flight, and also it's fitted with smoke detectors. We invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy your flight with us.
So, nearly done. Our departure actually here from Cologne. Yeah, that means we can
Ryanair 106 climb and maintain flight level 230 contact Frankfurt Center on 127.6. Have a nice day.
230.
Center on 127.6 here Ryanair 106.
First officer is tuning the radio to the new frequency.
Center Ryanair 106 climbing to flight level 230.
Ryanair 106, good afternoon. Squawk 4026.
Squawk 4026 Ryanair 106.
Ryanair 106 radar contact.
These clouds are looking very fantastic, even if you cannot see that in a 2D screen, but on a VR headset with the 3D it's looking very nice. Okay, anyway, so we are doing our climb now to our cruising altitude, which is flight level 300 today. I'll do a little break here until we have reached the cruising altitude, and I'll be right back after a few minutes. Welcome back. We have just reached our cruising altitude of flight level 300, so we can tell our passengers. Now, correct button.
Hello again from the flight deck, your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruise altitude and the seatbelt sign is now off. Feel free to move around the cabin, but we do ask if you are in your seat that you do keep your seatbelt loosely fastened in case we do experience any unexpected turbulence. Otherwise, invite you to sit back, relax and enjoy the flight.
Alright, so we have now 157 nautical miles to go until our top of descent, so yeah, actually now some time for having a coffee, sit back, relax, having a chat with our first officer, which is really not here today, just invisible, but doing his job. Yeah, alright, let's first of all here. So weather in Berlin is cloudy, a little bit rainy, but not that much winds. So we will see how we will get there, and meanwhile, yeah, we're just enjoying this quite nice scenery here from Explain 11 with the beautiful weather from Ultra Weather XP and ActiveSky. Yeah, we have to set actually our reference speed for the approach, and doing a flaps 30 approach gives us a reference speed of 141 knots. And we have also to reset the MCP altitude. So I already loaded now all the charts for our arrival into Berlin, Echo Delta Delta Bravo. So we are doing the Beitel arrival here in this way, coming all the way to the Terda transition point, and then doing ILS approach
Ryanair
on runway 25 right here.
Enjoy your afternoon.
Center on 125.1 Ryanair 106.
Okay, did that.
Center Ryanair 106 and flight level 300.
Ryanair 106, good afternoon. Radar contact.
Yeah, so the ILS approach, which is the LEAL as the initial approach fix, and it has an entry altitude of 3,000 feet. That means that is what we are setting now in our MCP for our final approach. 3,000 feet all the way down. Welcome back. We are on our descent now to the arrival to the Berlin Airport. So yeah, you'll see it here on the chart. Currently flight level 200, and yeah, just enjoy the rest of the flight now until our touchdown. Yeah, as you can see, weather's cloudy today here in Berlin, so also we expect some rain showers when we are go to lower elevations, and yeah, let's see how we can go there. Winds shouldn't be that problematic today, but however, we will see. We have just reached now our transition point into the ILS approach. Yeah, doing a right turn then onto the approach fix for the ILS approach, runway 25 right. And hopefully can catch the localizer. Okay, we have winds from behind, that means we have set speed brakes. Look at these beautiful clouds actually.
Ryanair 106 QNH is 9er 7 cleared for the ILS approach to runway 25 right with the turn to transition at Schönefeld.
QNH is 9er 7 cleared for the ILS approach to runway 25 right with the turn to transition Ryanair 106.
Ryanair 106 expedite speed reduction to 250 knots.
Wilco Ryanair 106.
Okay, it's starting to rain now. You can also see these windshield effects here of the Zibo mod. The rain on the windshield, so putting this wiper on. Actually.
Ryanair 106 QNH is 9er 7 at Schönefeld contact tower on 119.57. Have a good afternoon.
Catched the localizer now.
9er 7 tower on 119.57 Ryanair
So
106.
we can go to flaps 2.
Tower Ryanair 106 inbound for ILS approach runway 25 right.
Ryanair 106 good afternoon. Radar contact. Continue ILS to runway 25 right, call when established on final.
Continue ILS to runway 25 right, will call when established on final Ryanair 106.
So we have the airport in sight here. Got some FPS hit here. FPS drops actually, but that's maybe from the recording. So we have to go to flaps 5. And reduce the speed. Okay, rain stopped. Putting the gear down. So, gears going down. We have 3 greens now. Going to flaps 15. And finally going to flaps 30. Setting our reference speed to 141, so we have 6 knots of tailwind. That means we're going to 148, roundabout 147. Of course, the wind is not directly from in the front, so 145. Wind is from the left.
Thousand feet stabilized, Mr. Birch, altitude set.
So we are switching off the autopilot.
Ryanair 106 winds are light and variable, cleared to land runway 25 right.
Clear to land runway 25 right Ryanair 106.
300. 200. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Ryanair 106 exit runway enable.
knots.
So, welcome to Berlin Schönefeld Airport. On the right hand side you see the new BER airport, which is still not ready.
Thank you for flying Ryanair. Last year, over 90% of our flights arrived on time. We hope you enjoyed yours, and we look forward to welcoming you on board again soon. Ryanair. Low fares, made simple.
So we are just going to the gate now.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're all very welcome to this airport. For your own comfort and safety, please remain seated with your seatbelt securely fastened until the aircraft has come to complete stop and the captain has switched off the fasten seatbelt sign. Please refrain from smoking until you have reached the designated smoking area, which is well outside the terminal building. On behalf of your crew on board today, we'd like to thank you for choosing to fly with us, and we wish you a safe onward journey.
Yeah, this is Schönefeld Airport here on the left hand side actually. So this is the old airport that is still in operation until the new one on the right hand side is will be opened. Hopefully I will still get this in my life. We don't know. Actually yes, until then we are here on Schönefeld Airport. It's the old one, which is mainly also for the Ryanair operations, and used to be the airport in the old German Democratic Republic for all the flights here from Berlin. They have another airport in Berlin, which is Tegel, which is also doing a lot of international flights, and it's the bigger one actually. So meanwhile we are doing all our way to the gates. 5. We were shooting it a little bit for having the nose, the center wheel, centered on the air. Oops, starting to rain now. Okay. Oh, okay. That's it. Parking brake on. Switching to APU and engines off. So as soon as we are taking our lights off, the gate should come over. Yep, it's coming now. Okay, so gate arrived, so we can open the door and let our passengers disembark the aircraft. Go into the ground power unit and also take off the APU now. Okay guys, that's it. Thank you for flying with us today, and I hope I can see you on my next flights. Thank you and